Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me, because I don't know what's going on with my StreamYard. Hello, everybody. Please, fashion with lifestyle. Welcome, my beautiful sister. Um, how are you guys doing? Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section, please. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, I think we are doing fine. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds so that others will join us. Happy Sunday, everybody. How are you all doing? I hope you all went to church today. Shagombugo. I am abusing myself. Obviously, I know they church today. I didn't go to church today because I'm tired. I was working at the market yesterday, so it was a busy day for me. And please like and share as a comment, please. Guys, I am using YouTube to live stream because I don't know what is wrong with my StreamYard. I tried to live stream on StreamYard yesterday, but there was no audio. And I've tried again today to try and do some testing about it, but still there was no audio. So I really don't know what's happening with my what's it called? With my um with StreamYard. I don't know if anybody's facing same issue with StreamYard. Please do let me know. Hey, the true preacher, welcome. How are you? How are you? It's good to see you today. Happy Sunday to you. Okay, I think we're going to get started. So, I've set up a couple of live streams, so I'm not even sure which one I am on. Okay, I'm talking about the young lady that passed away from a snake bite. So, I'm going to share my screen with you because I saw the news this morning and I was pissed. I was pissed. I was pissed because it's something that could have it's a death that could have been prevented. Somebody buying from a snake bite. And let me share my screen with you guys. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, so let's go on to Instagram. And I saved a few stuff. Saved. Her name is Ifunanya. Okay. So her name is Ifunanya. And let me go to her page first. Let me go to her page. Guys, please like and share as a comment. So I've never seen her before. I've never seen her post or anything before. Can you guys see my screen? I'm trying to share my screen with you. If you guys can see my screen, do let me know. I want to be, yeah, okay, you guys can see it. So I've never come across her page before. Maybe I have, but I'm not sure. So her page is Nanya Music. She sings classical jazz, R&B, soul. She says she's also an architect, and obviously she does shows. So there was a few of her videos. I think I must have come across one of her videos at some point where she was singing, and I must say that I think she did a mix of the song that Davido played when he was marrying Chioma traditionally. I'm trying to remember that song. I think that was her first musical video that I ever saw. But then I've not gone back to her page again to hear her sing. But this is her page, and I'm just trying to scroll down back. I think she does music covers as well. She does music covers, but let's listen to one of her songs. Let's.
Kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is
So you
all.
guys can see there, she sings really well. There was another song she sang recently, and oh my god, like this one.
We both know I'm not what you need.
Yeah, I don't want to play the song for too long in case of copyright. Okay, so you guys can hear her. She sings beautifully. That's a image of her, and I think she dropped this post about 3 days ago. That's the image of her, and I also saw some beautiful pictures of her. She's also absolutely beautiful. So the news added that she was bitten by a snake. Let me go find that story. Um, so Tunde had not posted it, And this is the person who said it. So this person reported that a beautiful young lady with an angelic voice in the choir passed away today. That was yesterday, I believed. What happened? She was bitten by a snake in her house. She carried herself to the hospital. Oh my God. She even had the strength. She had the strength to drive or maybe get herself. I don't know if she drove or so, but she was able to get herself to the hospital. And that was where she passed on. When her friends went to her house to check and search, they found two cobras. Mind you, she doesn't live in a bushy area. Everyone is now wondering how the snakes got in and has been living with her till they now decided to attack her today. It is well, may her soul rest in peace. So that was the first post I saw. So this is a video of a snake catcher. A snake catcher that went to catch the snake. And look at the image of the snake.
Jesus! Oh no! Oh no, no, no!
Look at how tiny it is.
Bring it out, bring it out. Kill her now. Hold it.
Go to work every day and come back even with snake until they finally come back.
Second snake. Second snake. Two snakes in my house. Jesus.
Welcome everybody. I see you. Omolara Afolabi, welcome. Omolara said that was how one of my church member was beaten on his cucumber while using the toilet. He also died in Abuja last year. No antivenom. Very sad. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear that. Idara, my beautiful sister, welcome. Mr. Sunday, welcome, welcome. Please like and share as you come in. So yeah, obviously we're just getting into the story. Like guys, when I saw that story this morning, I was filled with anger. And you guys saw the other video I dropped this morning about a pastor and all of that. Guys, I am so filled with anger, but we're getting somewhere. So let's keep watching all of this.
No one here.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, one
Jesus Christ.
Possible.
Because you will not see this one and say it's
These are the things I just took alive. Ah.
And then somebody said the last time anyone died from a bite by a wild snake in the UK was 1975, nearly 50 years ago. In big 2026, people still die from things that are completely preventable: snake bites, infections, bleeding. The solution exists, antivenom exists, emergency care exists, but we stick to leaders that denies us these things. So the real question is simple: who is the next person to die from an avoidable cause? Because we are clearly not angry enough. Exactly. This was a post that I saw that prompted me to set up this live stream. For those of us, I think I was doing a live stream about sometimes last week, and someone like, oh, bloggers, they pay bloggers to demarket Nigeria. They pay bloggers to say bad things about Nigeria. And I was pissed. I was like, with everything going on in Nigeria, you still expect that bloggers are needed to be paid to run a story on Nigeria, because Nigeria on its own, it's a story, it's a drama. Because tell me why someone got bitten by a snake. She even summoned the courage, the energy to get herself to an hospital. And it's been alleged that the first hospital she went to, they had no antivenom. In fact, it was the second hospital she went to. Still, they had no antivenom. So, basic thing, we all know there's snake in Nigeria. There's cobra with heads, no spider, just like Omolara said there that a colleague of ours, one of our church member, got bitten. Like, Nigerians are starting to die from basic needs. I was doing a live stream last week about the twin, a father who took his twin boys for immunization. Things that are meant to protect people, basic health needs. Immunization that's meant to make sure that those kids are Sister Rikemi, welcome, my brother sister. How are you today? Basic things that are meant to protect us from maybe future illness in the children. It's now something that is now killing babies, spying babies. So she, from the post we saw earlier on, that she was not living in a bushy area. And yes, it's not only in bushy areas that are snakes. You might be surprised that even areas that are bushy areas, snakes don't enter into their houses. But why I'm angry is the fact that this lady was able to get herself to an hospital, and hospital could not save her. She got herself to an hospital. They could not save her because no antivenom. No antivenom. Now that it's happening like this, person will get fever or malaria. You will go to hospital and there won't be anti-malaria medication for you. And then some of our youth, some of our Nigerians are busy frolicking chasing the government for nothing. So this country, this government is not able to provide basic needs, basic need anti-venom. God forbid anybody takes an allergy reaction. Maybe person will not supposed chop granite, or they not supposed chop granite beside that person. As a person, and maybe somebody will know sabi say you get allergy. The person come chop granite beside you. Before you know it, your throat start to dey swell, you no fit breathe. Tell me how they are going to be able to save that person if they rush that person to the hospital. It's so sad that something like this, somebody has to die from something like this before things are being put in place. Why should it be so? Why should it be so? Let me read your comments. Guys, I see you. Welcome, welcome. Let me welcome those of you who are here. Sister Rikemi, I've already seen you there. Star Izara, welcome. Who else again? Yeah, okay, so let me read your comments. Mr. Son said Cobra. Yeah, they said Cobra. In fact, I saw a post on Facebook saying it was not 2 cobras, that it was 3 they found. It was 3, but they found 2. And also, I saw a post who said that this lady has once said before that she saw a snake in her accommodation. So only God knows what she did about it. She only saw one, but who knows? Maybe the other one was there. But I saw a post. Maybe I'll find it at some point in here. Let me read your comment. Arikemi said, the truth picture said cobra. Are they sure it's a cobra? I saw one of the videos from the head. From the shape of the head, it was definitely a cobra. Arikemi said, yes, it look at his head area and it's black. Yes, because there was another better view of it I saw, and it definitely looked like a cobra. There should be antivenom by default, exactly, just like there should be an anti-phylaxis and an anti-phylaxis. What's it called again? I can't remember it off my head. Something like that should be available, not only in hospitals, at pharmacies, anywhere, community areas. I'm raging, guys. Omola said there's no tiny snake. Oh, exactly. The tiniest they are, the most venom they have. Even the one that ash today is as dangerous and poisonous as the one that is sold. Wow. Mr. Sonny said hospitals in Nigeria don't have anti-venom. Exactly. And did they say it was in Abuja? I think they said it was in Abuja, right? Hello, Sister Vivian V. Welcome, my brave sister. The true picture said not all cobras are black. Again, king cobras are not found in Africa. Amanda said all these antidotes should be in all primary. Exactly. Thank you, my sister. Even the most abele healthcare, the most abele hospital, the most unvisited healthcare facility in Nigeria should have things like this in place. Hello, Mr. Victor. Welcome, welcome. The scripture says some hood spreading snakes which are black sharp but not king cobra. Welcome, Fordo Dion. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Ice got severe allergies to hazelnuts. No EpiPen, so I'll kaput in 30 minutes. You better take it every. So that's what we're saying. No EpiPen. Anyway, let's keep going because, guys, I'm raging. I was pissed when I saw this post this morning. I was raging. And then people said, obviously, when she was singing, Tunde had not never posted her, but then she's dead. Tunde had not is one of the big platforms on Instagram that posted her death. This is how beautiful she is. Look at how beautiful she sings. Look at how beautiful she sings. She sings absolutely well. Well, so this is the caption. This is the stuff announcing her death, saying regrets to announce the sudden demise of our beloved soprano Ifunanya, who passed away yesterday, 31st of January 2026, at Federal Medical Center due to a snake bite. And yes, it was in Abuja, the federal capital. It's like being in the federal capital of United States, and something like that happened. And of the 2 hospitals that you went to, they do not have an antivenom, something that could have prevented her death. They do not have it. And then we have the likes of Wike and all of these people gallivanting with money everywhere, but basic amenities for ordinary people, they are not able to provide it. Like, what else has to happen before our government starts to do the right by the people? After all, they will start, guys, I'm getting emotional here. After all, they will start telling, oh, Nigerians should come home. Nigerians should come home. Nigerians should come home. Me, I went to Nigeria last year. Do you guys know how extra careful I was? The first time I went to Nigeria since I've been here, I have never had to take a travel insurance. I have never have to take a travel insurance. Every time I go abroad, not to Nigeria, I always take a travel. I always take a travel insurance. The time I took me and myself when we went to Turkey, myself and my 5 kids, I bought a travel insurance. God forbid any of us, had an accident or something, or we fall sick. I bought a travel insurance because I was traveling out of the UK. And when I was going to Nigeria, the 2 times I have been back to Nigeria, I bought myself a travel insurance. And I did not make it cheap because I want to make sure that God forbid anything happens to me. It's either before I traveled, I had to call the travel insurance to say, come, what if this and this happens to me? What will be the first point? Where is the first point of call for me? God forbid, what if my enemy has an accident in Nigeria? What will happen to me? I had to call them. Because I don't want story, because once you enter Nigeria, anything can happen. It was not until I get certain confirmation that if anything happens to you, you will be taken out of Nigeria in 48 hours. That was what the insurance company told me. And yes, it was not cheap. It was a comprehensive health insurance that I did even though I was coming to come and do my sister's wedding. It was a comprehensive one. And I know how much I paid for those 11 days I was in Nigeria. Because what? I don't want to leave my health to chances. I had to call the travel insurance to say, come, these are possible things that could happen. These are possible things that could happen as long as I don't have any underlying health condition. Because they need to know if you have any illness. In case something happens to you, I did not let them know. I told them I don't have any underlying health condition. And I asked them, God forbid I got into an accident in Nigeria. How soon? What will happen to me? They were like, oh, they will try and stabilize you the first 24 hours, but in 48 hours, they will get me out of Nigeria. So now they are telling us, come to Nigeria. They stop demarketing Nigeria, stop devaluing Nigeria, stop this, that, stop doing this, that. But they are not freaking effing doing anything for a normal citizen in Nigeria. And all of these people, anything do them, they get high blood pressure, they are running out of Nigeria. They get headache today, they are running out of Nigeria. It's a shame, a total failure for a country as old and a country like Nigeria, that this lady was bitten by a snake. She even summoned the strength to drive herself to an hospital. And yes, 2 hospitals had no antivenom. And they are telling us to come home. Come home to Nigeria. Come back home to Nigeria. Come back home to Nigeria. I don't blame people who said they would rather sleep in car parks in the UK than stay in Nigeria. This lovely lady, she's gone. Why? They do not have an antivenom. They do not have an antivenom. We've seen cases in Abuja as well. And a good Samaritan brought accident victim to the hospital. All nurses were sitting down. They don't have gloves. So because they don't have gloves, they are not able to come and help a person, an accident victim. It was by force they were able to even bring wheelchair or stretcher. An AIE in Abuja has no gloves for nurses to transport or to take care, to bring out an accident victim from a car. And Abuja is the federal capital of Nigeria, right? You would imagine that everything and anything will be available in Abuja. But no, it's lacking everything. And you wonder why all these shenanigans they are doing about, I'm not trying to be insensitive here, the case that happened to Chimamanda's son, and the accident thing that happened that took the life of Anthony Joshua's friend. This government don't freaking care. If that accident does not involve Anthony Joshua, I trust you not, they will not do anything. They will not prosecute the driver. If that death did not happen to someone like the Chiamanda's son, if that was an ordinary Nigerian, they will not do anything. They will not investigate the anesthetists. They will not investigate the hospital. But because they know the people they are dealing with, they know Anthony Joshua is just not an ordinary Nigerian. They know Chimamanda is just not an ordinary Nigerian, because that one will use a pen to ruin the government. They have to do something. But like I said, God forbid it is any of you watching me or any standard Nigerian that those things happen to. Do you think the government will even read the news? They will just flip the channel if the news come on. And now she's gone. It's sad. But I saw a video by Aproko Doctor. This is what he had to say.
I'm sure you've heard the story about the lady who was bitten by a snake
Guys, please like
and
my
she
chat
died,
coming.
right? And it's a very sad story, especially when you think about it. But what if I tell you it's not the snake that killed her? I mean, snakes bite people everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the bush, you're in the city, India, Australia, other countries, snake bite people everywhere, but they do not die like this. They do not die just because they went to two hospitals, two, not one, two separate hospitals, and they looked them straight in the eye and told them, we do not have anti-venom in a country where snakes live in 2026.
Exactly.
Not 1980, not 1970. 2026.
Disgraceful.
And it has happened to somebody who is popular, but think about the other people it has been happening to that did not have anybody to report to. They didn't have any place to go, and they typically just lost their lives. Bright futures cut short. And when you think about it, if you even come to the research, Nigeria has a particular anti-venom developed for Nigerian snakes. It's called Equitab.
Can you hear?
ECHITAB. The question is, why was this anti-venom not in the fridges of the hospitals that she went to? Simply because we've forgotten the basics. Our politicians are building flyovers where ambulances don't exist. We're focusing on building ultra-modern hospitals when the primary healthcare center, which is the first point of call in any functioning country, should be. But rather than focus on those ones, they would rather want to do a big project, they'll cut ribbon, and
it's because they're embezzling money. It's because they are chopping money. They will say to build a whatever it is they are costing, but they will say it cost them 100 billion. If you had to go and investigate how much exactly it costs, maybe it is half of that money. It is a way of embezzling money. It is a way of chopping money, and that money that all of them is chopping is that money that will buy them. That money, when they fall sick, by the time they run to their abroad, they will normally run to. They will not be able to save them with all of their money.
Everybody's going to clap for them simply because they're trying to focus on the next election rather than the lives of the people that they're actually supposed to save. We've forgotten the basics.
It's crazy, man.
In every primary healthcare center, the basic small hospital that's beside you should have anti-venom. In a country where snakes live, they should have oxygen. They should have people who know what to do.
Exactly.
We've been shouting about it. Doctors have been on strike for a while, but it seems nobody's talking about it because, it don't really concern me like that. No, it does. It does. But when doctors go on strike asking for better conditions, better services, even help us do our work better.
Exactly.
The same people who are politicians find a way to put the people against the doctors and make the doctors the enemy rather than the people who are actually supposed to provide this healthcare for you. We've forgotten the basics. We've forgotten the basics. Well, recently on the project where I've been going from state to state, the first one was Gombe, the next one was Enugu. I'll be going to other states in the country and we're going to be shouting, know your PHC. Take your phone, go to your PHC and demand it. Most times when we start, some of those projects, it's not healthcare. Person will chop. Person go first chop before he do healthcare. Now look at what's happening. This is just anti-venom.
Exactly.
How about the women who die from childbirth?
No be today now. No be today. People are dying from childbirth in Nigeria.
See, and this is not just village people at work, because I see that some people.
Let me read your comment. Women are already dying from childbirth now. You saw the story of that guy who, because he could not drop deposit of 100,000 naira, they sent him away, and the woman died with the baby. Let me read your comment. Arika said, but how come? Is there bush around her house or the snakes were from underground? So it's been said that no, she doesn't live in a place where bush or anything like that. She doesn't live in an area covered in bushes. So we don't know. Arika said, our government focus their energy on irrelevant things and neglect the important. Nobody today, they don't drum. They are only after their pocket and the next election. That's what they're all about. They've forgotten about the people that they're meant to be governing. At the end of the day, they start sharing bread. That bread now go chop and people wait then they give bread. You will eat the bread and you go shit them. And then you'll be suffering again for the next 4 years. The truth picture said, another report I heard, she was beaten around 4 a.m. I went to the hospital around 10 a.m. Oh, so I've not seen that report, but if she's waited that long without any anti-venom, that's enough time for that venom to pass through her body system and there was no way she would have made it. So because the venom would have spread and done damage before then, absolutely, you're right, the truth picture. I said they need to fumigate that house. There's obviously a snake den in that house. I'm sure the snake mother is still there. Possibly. I think they need to fumigate the house, or maybe just get people to come check their accommodation if there's a crack somewhere. And I saw a post on Facebook where somebody said, "Oh, it's because she sings that her voice drew snakes to her house." And I'm like, come, did this person watch this Indian movie called Ninja or something? You guys remember that snake movie? That Indian snake movie. Like, come, how do some people think? So because she sings, because she's got that kind of voice, so this was said because she sings, her voice drew snakes to her house. Like, what the F? Like, what the F? Guys, I'm so pissed. I'm raging. I'm trying to contain my emotions right now. That could have been anybody. That could have been anybody. It's crazy. Our government, there's no feasible health care in Nigeria. There was a time I saw a post about a UCH hospital in Badon saying that they've not had electricity for months because apparently they hold busy for electricity. And any patient with the hospital, they are asking families to bring their generator or asking families to bring fuel to power the generator of the hospital in UCH. Yes, at some point, the people who were running UCH said, "Oh, that was a lie," blah 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 blah. But people showed images of generators. It's crazy, man. I'm reading your comment and then we'll move on. The preacher said the snakes could have migrated from somewhere to a house or chased rodents to a house. It's really a pity, man. So rest in perfect peace. Amen. Amala said, always put your salt in your whiskey. Always. I've seen that being done before I left Nigeria. The street preacher said they should check the house and surrounding areas because they will definitely see more snakes. The snake mother obviously laid her eggs around that house and they've all hatched more still around. Possibly, and I hope the people in that house don't sleep there. Houses self are at risk, exactly. Vivian said, "Mom, M5, rightly so. I feel you, but there will be more victims, though, because please educate us on how to save victims when beaten beaten at the end of the show." Obviously, I've not researched on that, but what I would say is, in most cases, when you see a victim that has been bitten by a snake, what I would advise is, regardless of the location, you need to stem that area. So if you're able to find a belt, if someone has been bitten at the leg, maybe you got bitten from your ankle, find a belt or something to try and cut the blood supply to that area. So you get bitten. If you don't have anything that could obviously stop the spread at home, if you are far away from an hospital, if there's somebody at home with you, get something, wrap it around that area so that it stops the blood flow to that location. It's just like when somebody has an accident and there's a fracture, the way they will get something like a plank to try and steady that fracture so it doesn't move around too much. If you've been bitten, tie that area either tie it from the top. So if you're bitten on your thigh, tie something very tight above your knee or below your knee, depends on the location, but make sure you tie something around that area so that whatever is meant to be passing, even though it's still going to pass, but it's going to be quite slow until you get to the hospital where you'll be given an antivenom. Because if you don't do anything, it's very, very quick. Venom will run through your bloodstream really quick. Or it's just like if somebody's in an accident and they are bleeding from a physical wound, you want to try and tie something to that area so that to stop the bleeding, right? That is pretty much what you want to do. Stop the venom from traveling to anywhere else in the body. It's going to travel to somewhere else in the body, but the main purpose of you tying it is to stop it, to slow it down till you get to an hospital. And only if you're able to get to the hospital will you be able to save yourself. And God help you that hospital has an antivenom to help you. Welcome, Happy Beautiful Sis. How are you today? It's sad. It's sad. And yes, our government do not care. Our government do not care. Our government do not care. I hope that's what I know from my head just now, that you know what, just like if you're involved in an accident and you're bleeding, if it's a physical bleeding, you want to stop the bleeding by tying something to stem the bleeding. That is what you want to do. If there's a puncture site, just tie something around, not to cover the puncture site, but maybe above or below the puncture site to stop or slow or to reduce how fast that venom travels. That is what you want to do, and then get that person to the nearest hospital as soon as possible. Or if you have an antivenom at home, but the possibility of you having an antivenom at home is 0.000,000 to 1. Let me read your comment. Vivian said, Vivian said there's a snake repellent now. We didn't. The landlord do the needful after she complained about a previous snake encounter. All right, okay. She might not know that. Such a vibrant soul. She's gone. Oh, it's really, really painful. The true preacher said they should check the house or surrounding area because they will definitely see more snakes. I believe the thing they said. I believe I saw a post that said they found 3. The snake mother obviously laid her egg. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen your comment, but let's keep listening. Abby, welcome. I see you there. It's like I've been in my feelings since I saw that video and I've cried. I've shed a little bit of tear for her. Obviously, with me, like I said, when I went to Nigeria in September, there and obviously I was going to go and celebrate something beautiful, but at the same time, I was ensuring that I am not leaving myself. I'm not opening myself to something that could be prevented. And yes, I don't trust Nigeria. And then they will tell us that, oh, come home. And then some people who are akuri, some people that they have used their hair to do pashikparo, that they have used their hair to do exchange, they will not say, oh, bloggers are being paid to demarket Nigeria. How? Because if babies are buying for no reason in Nigeria, if people are buying at road accident and you're not actually going to the bottom of the road, but because somebody is poor, because somebody is I don't even know what to say. Let's listen to our Aproko doctor.
I've already turned the conversation into, oh, it was a spiritual snake, it was this and it was this, and that's why our politicians are lucky people.
Exactly.
Because they know that once they spin a particular story, everybody will run with it. Nobody's asking why does our hospitals don't have antivenoms? The money that was budgeted for the primary healthcare centers, why was it not supposed to do what it was supposed to do? But rather they are saying, oh, it's a spiritual snake, he's a neighbor, he's jealous of her, this thing.
You know, it's like in Nigeria now, we know you will always get malaria. Don't be surprised that you will go to your nearest hospital and you say you have malaria. They will tell you they don't have anti-malaria medication. They will tell you they don't have treatment for you. Even though Nigeria is a country that, yes, you get malaria, and there are medications that they call anti-malaria, you use it. Most of these anti-malarias, it does not stop you most times from getting malaria, but it suppresses the symptom. We've seen people who died from malaria. Typhoid, we've seen people who died from typhoid. My brother almost died from typhoid I think I was in secondary school then. He had typhoid. I swear to God, my brother almost died. That's my eldest brother. Because it took forever for a private. Then my daddy carried well. My papa get money well then. This time that I was talking about, my dad was loaded then. It took a private hospital almost 4 months to figure out what was wrong with my brother. It was not until somebody else, another landlord in our area in Shangisha, said that, Mr. So, you need to take your son to St. Dominic's in Ikeja, in Yaba. If you guys know St. Dominic's Hospital, it's like a Catholic hospital in Yaba. It was a private hospital in Shangisha that my dad was using for my brother then. It was our neighbor, another landlord, that said, Mr. So, you need to take this your son. And my brother, there's about maybe 14 years in between my eldest brother and me. She was like, you need to take him to St. Dominic's in Yaba if you don't want to lose this your boy. It was not until my dad took my brother there that they were able to treat him for typhoid. Otherwise, my brother could have died. They were like, oh, it's malaria. Oh, it's this. You should stop playing football. You should stop this, that. He could have died. Can you imagine? So in a country that we know the kind of illnesses that is common, don't be shocked that you go to hospitals and they will still will not be able to find a treatment for you. Let me read your comment, guys. Vivian said, do not attempt to suck. No, do not attempt. Do not suck. Do not suck. If somebody who's been bitten by a snake, like I said, it's just you will treat it the way you would treat somebody who had an accident and is physically bleeding. You can see physical bleeding. You want to tie something tight around that area. And then get that person to the next hospital the nearest hospital as soon as possible. That's what I would say. Don't go and be saying I want to go to one Dibia. Which kind of stupid Dibia? Abby is a very sad story. Very, very sad story. So apparently she was bitten by a snake. And I think the preacher said there that she was bitten around 4 a.m. in the morning, but she didn't go to the hospital until about 10 o'clock. But I've seen, just according to her doctor here, that she went to the hospital, but there was no antivenom. So that means that the hospital failed her. Nigeria possibly happened to her. So she was beaten, but because she did not receive treatment, she practically died from a snake bite. So it was a snake bite, but then it could have been prevented. Her death could have been prevented if she was given an antivenom. But Nigeria happened to her because yes, hospital no get antivenom, and we have hospitals. That's why I said if you get typhoid, you get what is another illness again that was that well, there was one there's another illness like that that was popular then when I was much younger. If you don't have better hospital or more, people are going to die. And then we hear all of those billions and billions of budget, they budget on healthcare, but people are still buying needlessly. People are still buying needlessly. It's sad that she died when a simple vial of an intravenous, whatever could have saved her, or even something that they're going to put in an IV for her, run it through her system, could have saved her. Just like if somebody has diarrhea now, don't be surprised that you have diarrhea, you carry your baby that has diarrhea, you carry that baby to an hospital, they will tell you they don't have oral whatever for diarrhea, they will tell you they don't have the treatment. That's how in shambles Nigerian hospitals are. And some Ayilolo, they will tell us that, oh, you stop devaluing my Nigeria. The Nigerian government do not freaking care. And I think before they actually have the power to go into this next election, we need to start calling them out. Because these same people, they are rearing their way into the next president, into the next election. And don't be surprised that these same people will actually achieve power again and then further suffering for Nigerians. And more people will buy needless deaths that could have been prevented. I saw a news last week about doctors being on strike and how a woman, I think maybe was she hit by a car or something happened to her. They rushed her to the hospital. When they got to the hospital, the people were there. They saying doctors are on strike, so they can't treat her. By the time they were rushing her from here to here, she passed away. I remember here in the UK when nurses were on strike, some of us were still going to work, even though we were supposed to be on strike over pay. It's only in Nigeria that there will be strike and no doctor, nobody will be working. It's not the same everywhere else. Other countries, even though the healthcare supporters or doctors are on strike, there are still some doctors that are still carrying out surgery, even though their colleagues are on strike out there. Because they still need to make sure that people are being cared for. Nigeria, people are on strike, nobody go they work. Guys, please like this live stream for me, please. Vivian said, Abby, darling, you've abandoned. Abby is busy. Abby is expensive now. Don't try my sister. Don't try her at all. She's hey. You need to come through me. Abby PA now. Another experience said they don't even have Panadol. You have to buy a whole. And then I came across a post as well. That lady was talking about the fact that hospitals, you go to hospital for treatment and you get given medication, and they don't write the name of the medication that they give you. The way they put this medication into this plastic wrap, that they don't put the name. I think it was Vivian or who, I don't know who sent me that video then. And the lady was like, why are they doing that? Is it because you don't want that person to go and be able to purchase that medication? Because at the end of the day, they are paying exorbitant prices for getting treatment at the hospital and for getting from getting medication. But then the medication you've probably charged them 40-something thousand naira for, they could possibly get it from the pharmacy at an affordable price. So because the hospital don't really want them to go buy the medication elsewhere, the hospital will provide it, and then they don't know the name of the medication. And I'm like, okay, if that was me, I will be asking the doctor, what is the name of the medication you're giving to me? Because again, you want to be sure that they are giving you the right medication for what you've gone there to complain about. You sure it won't be a case of you are complaining of abdominal pain and the medication the doctor gave you is a medication for headache. So you want to know the name of the medication the doctor is giving you, even though they've not written it on the wrap. And I find that really, really strange. I remember here at work at times when I'm giving patients medication, even though I've already explained, they will still ask me again, what are you giving me? What is it meant for? What is it meant to do? And I'm explaining as I'm giving. This is why I'm giving you this. This is why I'm giving you. This is because your anesthetist wants you to have this. I am still explaining. But in Nigeria, they give you medication. They don't want to. They are not telling you what they are giving you. Omo. Honestly. Okay. Yeah, Vivian, they are on strike for 4 months now. Minister of Health should be ashamed of themselves right now. Those ones, nobody's going to hold them accountable now. Nobody holds any of them accountable right now. Let's keep listening to this video.
That is how they keep us down. Well, we can do what we want to do.
Exactly.
But what I would say is, when time comes to actually demand accountability for healthcare, if you hear budget allocation, don't just tune off. Ask, does my primary healthcare, we should stop praising audio projects.
Exactly.
When primary healthcare centers don't even have common paracetamol. Oh, go to the pin post on my page and look at that. Those are primary healthcare centers
gloves.
that's actually supposed to help people
A&E
survive.
don't have gloves. A&E go.
We failed this young lady today. We're failing others.
Accident and emergency in Abuja, they no get gloves to transfer patients. No gloves.
It concerns all of us.
It
and
does.
That's all I'll say. Thank you.
It does.
I'm sure you've heard the story about...
That's that video there. It's so sad. It's so sad, honestly. That's obviously apropos doctor, the post.
You guys.
That's us singing there.
You guys, when Sarah Brightman said, Quando solo sonasse l'odore sonten manca le parole, se lo so che luce non la stanza quando manca il sole, se non ci sei tu con me su.
She sings amazingly well. She sings absolutely great. Nigerian government happened to her. Just listen to her. I'm welling up.
The young lady, simply referred to as Ifunanya Nwangene, has been snatched by death. Report says that she was beaten by a snake, and then the neighbors tried to help her, tied a cloth around that part of her body.
You guys, that is the first thing you want to do. You know, when you see somebody bitten by a snake, if you can see the puncture site, you want to try and stem that venom from traveling far. If not belt, you can find, tie a tight belt around it, okay? Just to slow down how fast the venom travels and get that person to the nearest hospital.
So that it doesn't spread to other parts. But of course, and she was helped to be taken to 2 hospitals in Abuja, 2 hospitals, including the Federal Medical Center, and there was no anti-venom in any of the hospitals. And one of the hospitals, they would rather remove the cloth that was used to stop the flow of the venom into other parts of her body, and they fix drip for her.
Why remove it when they do not have an anti-venom? They shouldn't have removed it if they don't have a fast-acting medication to give her for the venom to stop spreading.
We lost her. Unfortunately, Nigerians are not getting it. A lot of people are rather looking at the environment. Oh, snake. It's not snake that killed Ifunanya. It's not her promising talent. She wasn't taken out because she committed suicide. It wasn't kidnappers or armed robbers. It wasn't prostitution. It wasn't bad habit. It wasn't alcohol or drugs. She died because she was a Nigerian, and because we have a set of politicians that prioritize gigantic, luxurious, and money stealing projects where they can take money from. And we have a set of Nigerians that are misplaced. You see, all of these things we have said continually. Entertainment, making more money, will not change the fact that we must demand for responsible and accountable leadership. What level of investment has been put in? This is the same Abuja when Yesom Wiki is building houses and buying cars, boasting about constructing roads and flyovers. Flyovers, we don't have ambulances. Roads, we don't have healthcare. We don't have proper healthcare. Federal Medical Center that is supposed to be the capital of medical centers, the capital of healthcare in Nigeria, failed Ifunanya, a promising talent, a bright talent, an architect and a musician. Nanya Music, go and check on her platforms. She's been privileged. She's contested for Voice Nigeria. There is nothing. This one has taken her life, sold herself out into what she finds as passion. But today, Nigeria has happened to her.
Yes,
Nigeria. How can hospitals in 2026 not have anti-venom? But that is not the conversation in our public space. That is not. It is who bought car that is our problem. It is who did this that is our problem. We are here to realize that we are fighting against several systems. It is not Snake that beat her, that killed her. It is Nigeria. And when the young lady from Arise TV, I think Somto, that was her name, was taken, instead of us dealing with the fact that this lady wasn't able to get proper healthcare, in security architecture failure, we say it was fear. We look for a way to make excuses for these idiots. Again, the menace of political ideology that we have that has bedeviled us has happened to Ifunanya. This one are not bad character, not bad habit, not be Mark Kilamu, not be Wakalo. So in her home, she was beaten by it. And when they went to search her, they found 2 snakes. And how can you imagine that for a country where snakes live in 2026,
no antivenom,
we still do not have antivenom stored up, at least in small quantities, just in case. And this is the same place where a minister is boasting that he's buying cars.
So sad.
And I've asked all of these projects, if the project that you are putting in your state, some of you now are clapping for your governors. Ask what investment is being done in healthcare. This is in Abuja. Imagine the interior, imagine the rural areas where
you wonder why Just Adetoun is calling out the Ogun State governor. Just Adetoun called out Ogun State governor. Very dark man. That's Mumu. Was like, how dare she call him out? Blah, 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 blah. This, that. And that was during when the accident happened that took the life of Anthony Joshua's friend. That there were no ambulances. And then Just Adetoun called him out saying, where are the ambulances that you were throwing budget for? And then a few days later, they showed us videos of ambulances parked. Okay, you showed us ambulances be parked. Are they functional? If yes, why was there not one at the venue of the accident when the accident happened? Why was there none? And even when they were trying to transport Anthony Joshua away from the accident venue, why was he made to walk? He was transferred from the accident vehicle. He was made to walk to another vehicle. Now, so then they rescue people. And that Mumu with a nose ring, it was like, just at the tone, you were saying that somebody harassed you. Is that the bone of contention? Was that the main core of conversation? She's calling out the government for not being active. You're saying there's hundreds of ambulances. Why was there not one? And now an innocent man, who is a victim of the bad governance in Nigeria, the bad road system that we have in Nigeria, is now being, is in jail, is in court over the death of Anthony Joshua's friends. When the government know they contributed to what happened. Nigeria, we have a long way to go. And I'm going to keep saying, if you need to jackpot, get out of Nigeria.
Cases like this become normal, where they can even create superstitious belief around it to say, oh, village people, oh, evil snake, oh, it is easier in that way, but yet people are losing their lives on a daily because we have a system that is collapsing. It is not a problem of Nigerians. This should worry you. A system where you cannot determine how old you live. Young lady taking off in avoidable circumstances. But it is still not the front burner. We are still going to make excuse for this. They try, because construction of roads have now been made to become more important than laying proper foundation for education, healthcare, and as it were now, security and power generation. It is still not a problem in our system. I expect there are things that should be taken front burner. But we have been uneducated enough that we make excuses for the same idiots, new fools that masquerade themselves and call themselves leaders of this country. And that can be anybody. Ifunanya can just be anybody. So when we see all of these things you guys are doing around entertainment, it is if you make more money, social media. A day will come where you will demand responsible leadership in any of the sectors in this country. They will fail you. if we don't begin to ask the right questions.
That's anyway, I'm just gonna quickly, I'm rounding off this live stream. It's just so obviously, may God rest her soul. She's gone. There's a post here. I think you guys can see my screen there. Another post from Linda Ikeji there, saying that I hate the country so much. Ifunanya Nwangene's brother writes as he narrates how she died following the snake bite at Abuja home. So this is a post from her brother. He says, if he called me yesterday morning at about 8:30 a.m., she says, Hemi, don't panic, but I have just been bitten by a snake. I'm on my way to the hospital. So that was I asked her how come because I was in shock. She says she was sleeping and felt pain. She said oh my God. Oh my God. She said she was sleeping and felt pain. When she opened her eyes, she saw the snake. Oh my God. I realized that wasn't the time to ask too many questions. So I called the call and called her back with my smaller phone immediately, using the bigger one to call people I knew in Abuja because she was going to the hospital alone. Hands tied just by herself. I think she was beaten on her hand or something. Hands tied by herself. Divine Health Hospital, Trade Mall Road, Lugbe, Abuja. That was the first hospital she went to. And when she got there, they immediately said they didn't have. So even though they didn't have an antivenom, is there not something they could have done to help her? At least it's just like there's an hospital, accident victims are brought in. If your hospital does not have the specialism to treat their wounds, you could at least give first aid, right? That is what you would think an hospital should do. And then he continued to say when she got there, they immediately said they didn't have the antivenom and could not help her. Can you imagine? They could not help her. So the doctor or whoever that was there cannot think of something in his or her head to help her. Like maybe look at the wound and call another hospital that he or she thinks might have that antivenom, because that is what you would imagine that hospital will be able to do. Like, you go to my clinic now, I don't have something to help you, but I will look at that wound or whatever the issue is, and doctors, they know who is specialized in something. They know. They will know. Then in that hospital, one of them will know, at least one hospital in Abuja that will have antivenom. It's either a matter of calling them to say, oh, there's somebody here who will be coming to use now. They have a snake bite. We are bringing them over. They sent her away. They bloody sent her away. That they could not help her. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. So she booked a ride immediately to get to the hospital that might. Oh. So I'm sure that hospital she went to would know, just like I said, they will know at least one hospital in Abuja that will have an antivenom. What happens to calling them ahead to say, oh, we have somebody here, or even help transport her there? They are an hospital for goodness sake. Then be hospital. They're supposed to help her. Time has been wasted here. Waiting to book another ride, waiting for that ride to come, and then traveling all the way to where that place is. Oh my God. So immediately to get to the hospital that might have it. Note that while all this was happening, I was still on a call with her, never hung up, and she was speaking fine with me. Her hand was tied and she was in a ride headed to Federal Medical Center, Abuja. We got to the next hospital some minutes to 10 a.m., at which point she was still speaking with me. When she got to the second hospital, she went into the emergency department and these guys started, these guys started bombarding her with questions. Guys, can you imagine? These guys started bombarding her with questions. I was still on call with her and it was irritating me. I kept saying, what are they doing now? I asked, do they have the antivenom? She said, they said would give her a drip. The doctor removed the stuff she used to tie her hands to avoid the circulation of the venom and kept telling her to calm down. She immediately told me, Emmy, they have removed the thing I used to tie my hand. Me, I felt, well, since she's at the hospital now, the doctor should know better than me. I encouraged her to calm down. When the drip was in, she started feeling dizzy and her tongue wasn't speaking well again. So that was when I let her relax and ended the call. At that point also, my uncle I had contacted in Abuja was at the hospital with her. So I felt a bit of relief thinking she was getting all the treatment she needed. Now, when they lost her, I started seeing people say she was beaten at night or the day before, but only came yesterday, which was a lie. Doctors saying she wasn't talking properly and came in late. She came in by herself with both legs without any help. I was speaking with her through it all. She was very audible. Why did they remove the stuff she tied to prevent the spread of the venom? Exactly. If they did not have something efficient to stop the venom, why removed it? Why? Told her to calm down and proceed to put a drip. Did they even have the antivenom at the second hospital? Exactly. Do they actually have that venom? Because I don't see why they would, take her in or maybe admit her and request for wherever the antivenom is at what hospital. Because I want to imagine that for the fact that they are attending to her, which the first hospital should have done, what the second hospital did was something the first hospital should have done and then communicated with any hospital they know that stores the antivenom to say, oh, we are trying to stabilize this girl now, but we will be bringing her over. And if the next hospital is a distance away, they could ask if the venom could be brought to that hospital. That is how you see people who actually are looking to save lives. That is how they work. But they sent her away from the first hospital. Do I blame them? No. So the hospital failed her and doubled down to lie also about everything. I hate the country so much. We had such a great time together at Abuja this past Christmas. How was I to know it would be the last time with you? Oh my God. So she was still speaking fluently with me, even send me this video, okay? So that was the video she sent to her brother. Obviously, the the cannula being put in. You sing this. Oh, so crazy, man. So crazy, man. Let me go and find the brother's page. Official K Baba 1. Official K Baba 1. It's so crazy, man. Her death was absolutely preventable. So that's how on our brother's page. So it says, a girl, you were so strong even after the snake bite. You took yourself to 2 hospitals without any help. But the Nigerian hospital did their usual and sent you away because they didn't have the antivenom. You fought till the end. It's crazy how the hospital did. The first hospital shouldn't have sent her away. They should have at least tried to look at the wound, stabilize her. And then, like I said, doctors will know who amongst them in that Abuja have antivenom. They will know. They shouldn't have sent her away. And yes, obviously, all of this, they probably are looking at her that, oh, she might not even be able to pay for her services anyway. Maybe that's the kind of high they were using to look at her. Because like I said, you are hospitals, doctors, they know each other very well. They know what they store. They know. They know. It's not like here in the UK or even some other places. Doctors, they specialize in various things. They will tell you, okay, I can't do this, but I will stabilize you. However, I'm going to refer you to so place. And they will give you a note to say, okay, yes, you were there. This was what they were able to do for you. However, because they do not have so specialism, they've now referred your care to so hospital. That is what a life-saving doctor or a life-saving hospital or health care center will do. And not be today anyway, Nigerian doctors don't descend or Nigerian hospitals don't descend, even accident victims, and they send them away. Look at what happened to that guy that came from Canada, Abby, I don't know if you're still here, who was hit by a car. And it was alleged that he went to the first hospital, they sent him away, they took him to second. Was it not the third hospital that they took him to that they were able to admit him and start, giving him treatment? Eventually, the guy passed away. I think they should make it a crime in Nigeria that any hospital a victim goes to, you don't turn them away regardless. You seek help for them. You should seek help for them rather than sending them away. Even if you don't have the specialism to treat them, what happens to first aid? They bring in an accident victim to your hospital. What happened to ensuring that? Assess them. Do they have internal bleeding? Is their airway intact? Can they breathe without any issues? Are they speaking to you? Are they vocal? Check their eyes, their pupil, to check for any sign of concussion. Check if there's no internal bleeding. Assess them. If you are satisfied that in the next 2 hours, if they're able to get them to an hospital that specializes in accident victims, they will be fine. But no, Nigerian hospital, they know they even give you first aid. They will just send you away. I think they should be made a crime. It should be a crime If an hospital does that, if they send you away without assessing you, it should be a crime in Nigeria. It should be a crime in Nigeria. Absolutely, Nigeria failed her. So obviously this was a post from my brother's page that we're reading earlier on. I think there was somewhere that was reading. So obviously that's a video she shared. Let me put that back. That was the video she shared. And then he said when it was in, she started feeling dizzy and her tongue was in. Obviously, I've already read that. It's crazy, man. And I don't understand why, you know what, when some hospitals, when they've messed up, why are you lying? Say when they train her to be doctors or whatever, they train you also to lie. Just say things the way they were. It's all right to admit that yes, you do not have the specialism, you were not able to, treat her. It's all right to admit that you don't have the treatment than lie that she came in weak or something was already happening to her when she came in. Like why lie? Why tell lies? Why tell lies? It's crazy, man.
You guys.
That was the post on my brother's page. That was a post from my brother's page. Anyway, guys, it's so sad that she has passed away, and it's sad that she's passed away. And yes, I blame the Nigerian government because if our hospitals are adequately stocked, if they have basic amenity needs of Nigerian citizens, things like this, we should not even be hearing news that people are dying from things like this. We should not even be hearing that accidents happen. Yes, they brought an accident victim to your hospital. We should not even be hearing that they are being sent away. Our country keeps failing the people they should be working for. And it's super sad that this young, beautiful soul has lost her life over something that could have been prevented. It's so sad. Just before I go, I was on ChatGPT there. Let me share my screen with you. What ChatGPT advised that you should do in the case of you being bitten by a snake. So I hope you guys can see my screen. I'm just going to give you this last, obviously, what to do before I round up this live stream. So I did ask that what should I do if I get bitten by a snake? And it says that what to do immediately. I would imagine that some of these advice are for obviously advanced country, but if you're in Nigeria, you at least just have the basic understanding of it. Okay, it says here that you should get to emergency care ASAP, call emergency services, or go to the nearest hospital immediately. So if you're in Nigeria, I will advise that you go to the nearest hospital immediately. Antivenom is the only real treatment for venomous bites. Nothing, they didn't say here that you should put drip. They didn't say here that they should put Venflon in. They said antivenom is the only treatment for venomous bites. Stay as calm and still as possible. Panic and movement spread venom faster. Sit or lie down. For her, she was moving. It would have been maybe much better if she had somebody that drove her. But for her, she was on the move, which means that the more she was moving, the quicker this venom was going to be, traveling down her body stream. And it says, sit or lie down. Immobilize the bitten limb. Keep it still and below the heart level. So if it's your arm, you want to, if you were bitten on your hand, you want to make sure you don't raise your arm up. Just keep it below your heart level. That is, don't lift your arm up or something. Avoid moving your arm as much. And if you were bitten on your thigh or your leg, those places are below your heart level anyway. So, but then the main koko is that you are lying down, and you are relaxed as much as possible. In her case, she was moving around. She was trying to transport herself from one place to the other. So she was moving a lot, which will have sped up, how fast the venom was traveling through her body. So he also says that if possible, splint it like a broken bone. Remember I said earlier on that, splint it. Maybe if there's a plank or a cardboard, place it to just steady your arm. So which means that you're not going to be moving it about, just so that you're kept in one angle. That's what that's supposed to be saying. There, I think there are images here. These are images here to advise. It says, that's what you're meant to do. If it's your leg, apply a broad pressure bandage from below upwards. So this is what you're meant to do. So that's the puncture site, for example, and this is what they have asked you to do. And 2, the bandage should be as tight as you would apply to a sprained ankle. So you see what they've done there. They've actually wrapped that bandage around the puncture site. Should avoid, they say the patient should avoid unnecessary movements. extend the bandage as high as possible. So I would imagine if you were beaten on your arm or on your wrist, you will follow this exact same guide. You will follow this exact same guide. I hope you guys can see my screen. You will follow this same guide. And also, they say something about putting a splint like a wood or a cardboard or something is there. And also, it did say that you should remove tight items, such as if you're wearing rings, if you're wearing wristwatch, bracelet, or tight clothing near the bite, you want to remove those things because it's gonna the area is gonna swell, and obviously it's not good for the fact that the venom is traveling everywhere. And it says here that if trained and advised locally, which is common in some countries, apply a pressure immobilization bandage. There are some pressure bandages. That's what they advise that you should use to wrap it around the bite area. And it says that this is not recommended everywhere. So don't do it unless it's a standard guidance for where you live. And I think this is part of the things we should know as well. So what not to do? Do not suck out the venom. Do not cut the wound. Do not apply ice or electricity. Do not drink alcohol or caffeine. Do not use tourniquets. Okay? Tourniquet is that rubber, elastic rubber that they wrap around your hand or arm if they want to put a venflon or a cannula in your arm. Don't use that. Obviously, watch out for the symptoms. Even if the bite seems mild, you should still go to the hospital because symptoms can include increasing pain or swelling. For her, she felt pain. Symptoms could include, nausea or vomiting, trouble breathing, dizziness or fainting. You know what? All of the time she was going from those two hospitals, I just wish she had somewhere close to her. I wish there was somebody that was actually transporting her around. Just maybe that will have slowed down, this travel. I mean, the venom traveling through her body, and obviously being able to get to the hospital where she could get the anti-sickness. But like I said, in my own opinion, Nigeria happened to her, and this is the time that we should start calling our government accountable. Wike, like that guy said, Wike is busy building, snatching land everywhere. And Abuja being the center of the capital, being the federal capital of Nigeria, hospital no get anti-venom. It was still in the same Abuja that an hospital and an accident victim was taken to an hospital and nurse talks they no get gloves. They do not have gloves for her to wear for her hand to transport a patient, an accident victim that a good Samaritan brought to an A&E. Can you imagine? Only in Nigeria will an hospital not have a glove. It's crazy. It's just sad. Anyway, my condolences goes to her and her family, and I just pray we Nigerians will wake up and start demanding for what our government should give to us. They should be working for us, not suffering for them. They should be working for Nigerians, not suffering, not Nigerians suffering for them. The earlier we realize that, the better for us. Advanced countries, we've seen how citizens, they rally, they protest for what their government are not doing right, and their government are listening. Why is our Nigerian government not listening to the people? Why are they not listening? And then so freaking ass activists will come and say, your governor, why are you calling out the governor? You insulted the governor's mother, blah, 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 this, blah, blah. Like seriously? I am a Nigerian, but if I tell you, say I understand everything where they happen for Nigeria, I am telling you a freaking big lie. Because like I said, Nigeria is another history book that needs to be studied. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that have been here so far. Let's be conscious of our area, our surroundings, and please, anywhere you live right now, get familiarized with hospitals within that area. You can never tell. You don't necessarily have to get bitten by a snake. It's just for in case of emergency. Maybe someone has an emergency, someone passed out, or something happens to them, or they get electrocuted and stuff like that. So you will know what hospital to go. There might be 20 hospitals within your area, but you want to know which of them has facilities. You want to know which of them is able to stand up when the proper emergency actually happens. It's not about you going there and go there, pay them a visit. That you want to register your family. I just want to know what services they offer. and I know how often do they have specialists or doctors. Do that, and I'm sure it will help you in the future. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for being here. And my condolences goes to the family, and I pray that the soul of Ifunanya rest in perfect peace. And as for the political leaders that are chopping money and suffering Nigerians, at some point, the money you chop will not be able to save you. The money where you now embezzle will not be able to save you. Will not be able to save you. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you all. And if you're watching me for the first time, ideally, I normally do my live stream on StreamYard, where so obviously people will call in and share their views. But I've been having issues with StreamYard since yesterday. There doesn't seem to be audio coming from it, so I don't know what's the problem. Hence why I am live streaming on YouTube Studio. So please like, share, subscribe to my channel, and go check out my other content as well. And I'll see you guys in about 3 hours. I have another live stream at Nigerian UK time 7 o'clock, and we're going to be discussing all this story of Doris Ogala, Ruth Matthews, and all of this stuff. That's basically what we're going to be doing. And I think I'm also going to be streaming on YouTube Studio, but this time around on mobile. So that way I might be able to play the video from another channel, and then we just listen to the audio. So I think that's the way I'm going to till I'm able to sort the issue with StreamYard. With that being said, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in about 3 hours. And that'll be Nigerian 8 o'clock and UK time 7 p.m. Thank you so much, everybody, and have an amazing Sunday afternoon. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.